Hi, I'm your kid critic Jack Mooney, and welcome to the Jack Mooney Show. And in today's video, I am giving a review of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Fandango sent me an email about an early screening of the film 3 weeks in advance, so I had to seize the opportunity. So, without further ado, here is my review of the latest film in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise. So I've never been a huge fan of the How to Train Your Dragon films. I like them, and I think they're sweet movies, but I wouldn't describe them as being spectacular as some people would, and I don't really understand the cult following, but that's just me. I saw The Hidden World with my good friend, and afterwards I was telling him how I think Toy Story is the best animated franchise of all time. And he started telling me how this is his Toy Story. And then I stopped and thinking, I'm like, I get that, and I understand that, and that kind of made me appreciate this film and the franchise more. So, after seeing The Hidden World, I do think it is the best in the trilogy, and I thought it was a pretty okay movie. I didn't love it, but I do respect it, and I do really appreciate it. Let's talk about the positives first. I think the animation is spectacular. From the opening shot of the film, I was like, DreamWorks is doing something really amazing here. The animation is clear, it's detailed, the lighting and color are spectacular. This is the best animation I've seen in an animated film of all time. It was so realistic, it was beautiful. The flying sequences with Toothless and the Light Fury are just majestic, and I was like, wow, I was blown away with how spectacular it was. So, animation, hands down, was great. I also really enjoyed the voice acting. That's one of the things why I love animated movies. The actors really put this emphasis and they really create these characters. Even though they're not live, they bring an emotional depth into them. And I certainly think that's the case with an amazing voice cast in the How to Train Your Dragon films and The Hidden World. So the acting was great. And the score. I've always loved the score of these films. It's beautiful, it's emotional, it really pulls at your heartstrings, and if I ever hear it, I want to keep listening to it because it just brings me to this great world. Yeah, I love the score. It's great. But there are some negatives of the film. I do think the story has issues. I feel like there is a lot of jokes that didn't land throughout that I didn't really enjoy. Kind of childish, certainly with Jonah Hill's character, and I don't know, they just didn't land, and I was really disappointed. And I also think they sidelined Hiccup's mom, played by Cate Blanchett. I thought they really kind of screwed her over, and she should have had a much bigger part after the second one. So I feel like DreamWorks should have done a better job of developing all of the characters and creating a better story for each one. It just seemed like this was just about Hiccup and Toothless and the Light Fury most of the time. And yeah, that goes to say, I didn't think the movie felt complete. And I'm tempted to say it felt rushed, but it's been gotta say, like 4.5 years since the last one. So I wouldn't say rushed. I feel like the editing was a little jumpy at times, and I think they should have taken a better time to make a better story. That being said, the ending of this film is phenomenal. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you are a huge fan of the franchise, you are going to just completely fall in love with it or really appreciate it. So, yeah, I just think I just had issues with the story, which is a problem with a lot of animated movies nowadays. But yeah, didn't feel complete. But overall, it's an emotional film. It's beautiful, one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen in my life, and I do recommend you see it when it does come out. It's an experience, and I think the whole family will enjoy it. It's a nice time. If I could give it a grade, I'd give it a B+. It's not perfect, but I did enjoy myself, and it probably is the best in the franchise. Okay, I'm your kid critic Jack Mooney, and have a great day at the movies.